Monday Night Soccer in Marlington. It's the Dukes taking on the Ursuline Fighting Irish. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening as we have a special broadcast today, the first in our partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. This game will later re-air over on the television station in a few weeks. We were hoping to get this done this year, and we did. All games that are Marlington that aren't taken at Alliance High School will be done here on this YouTube channel and then pushed over to Channel 1022 at a later date. It might be a few weeks out. We will see, but all games that are Marlington and covered in the series will be live here. A lot at stake tonight. Ursuline 2-9, looking for their first win of September, only scoring one goal thus far in this month, while Marlington, they look for their first win since all the way back on October 2nd, 2023, which ended up being a 2-1 victory over Southeast. The ref signals up to the box, and we are underway in Marlington as Kennedy kicks it off for the visiting Fighting Irish. A good interception early on for the home team, and they lose possession quickly. Going into play today, Ursuline averaging just under a goal per game, while the home team averages $1.25 per game. They're hoping to get some goals here today, but last time we saw the Dukes, a big game for them. They ended up earning a 3-3 draw with Hubbard, which was one of the two teams that Youngstown Ursuline took down this year, them along with South Range. On the far side, Rohrball goes out of play, and she will throw it in. Need on down on the far flank, and it rolls out of play. Marlington will take it back. And throwing it in for Marlington will be Maddie Gill, the midfield senior. Gill pumping and throws in, intercepted by Ursuline, taken in by Kennedy. Pass down the wing, a nice touch up the line, but good defense played by Gill. She hits it out of play. Ursuline playing the touchline game as they move down and will throw it in. A heavy touch gives it away to Marlington as they will give a light tap to the center of the pitch. They play it forward now. Allie Gill, one of the captains, plays it forward, loses possession, and Ursuline will concede the throw right around the halfway line. Early on, we're seeing a statement of intent from both teams. They're not afraid to give up throw-ins, and that is something you'll see a lot, especially at the college level, where teams would rather take the throw-in and set up defensively than have to scramble and get back. So we'll see how long that lasts in this game, especially if things get tight down the end, as this could be a very close game if both teams are at their best. In the center of the pitch, Vitale plays it forward. Vitale overruns, running back. A good box out by Gill. Gill looking for some help, and she is tackled. A good play by Miller, the junior. Intercepted and sent forward by Pate. Gill plays it down the wing, trying to pick out Emma Hone, the captain. Just at the edge of the 18-yard box and will go near the corner. Plays it up. Young gets tripped up at the edge of the 18-yard box, and we have a whistle blow, so it looks like it will be a set piece for the home team in a prime spot. Do we see the first shot of the game from just outside the 18-yard box? Ball played in. It's a good spot, and it's snagged in between the sticks, as that is Gabrielle Cromartie, the junior, taking it in for her first save and the first save of the ball game for either team. Ursuline this year allowing just under 5 goals per game, while the home team averages allowing around 6. So if the averages for goals allowed is the status quo for this game, a lot of goals in store. However, if it's the other way around, where we look at the goals scored, this might be a 3-goal thriller, one that might be similar to the last win for Marlington against Southeast. Throw in near the box, headed there by Ursuline, a big chance. Ball taken back by the home team. Vitale on the wing, gets clipped up, and it will go over to Miller. Miller down the center of the pitch, and stepping up and making the play is Pate. Chipping around, Marlington has someone open on the wing. Ball played in. Here's a big chance. It's Allie Gill in the corner, and the flag will come up for offsides. The run just a little bit too early on the near flank by the captain, so Marlington will get back to the drawing board with just around 4 minutes drilled off the clock thus far. good ideas so far from Marlington. They've sent numbers forward. Ursuline, no touches in their final third quite yet. The ball will roll into it as Pate sends it forward. That hits off the shin of Kish in a dangerous spot. Ursuline looking just to clear their lines. Bolito looking for help. It goes out to the wing, intercepted, and actually goes through the legs of the Duke on the near side. That's Morlock. So Ursuline will throw as their coach is trying to give some encouragement. They're looking for some sort of spark to get their game rolling. Kish down the wing trying to pick out Fuchs. Cannot do so. Marlington will once again concede a throw. So this will be Ursuline's first opportunity to get inside the 18-yard box. Michaela Kish bounces Miller. Miller from well outside the box misses wide just to the right and will go out for the first goal kick of the game. And we will have an early change for Youngstown Ursuline as Moda Mahoney, the junior, subs in. And it will be Farnsworth, the senior, subbing out. Short goal kick intercepted by Ursuline at the edge of the 18-yard box. Kennedy taps it off shortly to Miller. Miller fighting for possession. A good box out from Marlington. It bounces into a box in a dangerous spot as the substitute Mahone, and it goes out of play for another goal kick. Ursuline applying pressure to Marlington, trying to catch them out on an error. Most likely, the winner of this game will be the team who commits the least amount of errors, and especially the amount of errors committed in the final third. If Marlington commits more, Ursuline has a big chance to win, and vice versa. Miller fighting for possession, played forward to Gill of Marlington. Good box out by Casey, and that allows the ball to go up the pitch for Ursuline. Boxing out is Morlock, and cleared away as that is Strabel, the captain. Once again, the Dukes concede a throw right before the halfway line. Chested in the air by Miller. Miller trying to turn, cannot get past Vitale. Played on back to Strabel, clipping off of Morlock, and cleared away just over the midfield line. Hit down by Vitale. Marlington trying to win the possession battle early in this one, as we've had a couple of pinballs thus far. Casey trying to pick out Miller. Miller can't field it cleanly. It goes back right to the center circle. Marlington tried to rush. That was Hone getting it on the pressure, but it was cleared away. Sent skied on the far side. Tynel sends it away and back over midfield. Ursuline will go again. Heavy tackle on the far side, and the whistle will blow against the captain, Emma Hone. Second foul of the game, first committed by Marlington. Around 32:30 left to go, so around 7.5 minutes played, still honors even. Kennedy trying to get a clean touch. Miller outside the box, goes wide to the left of the goalkeeper, and it will result in a goal kick for Marlington. And it will be Megan Kirby, the junior, who will be set to take the goal kick. Kirby sends it away. High challenge in the air. Dubas trying to keep it in play. It goes to Marlington. They will work on the far wing. Good interception as Rohrball got a piece, but it goes right back to Marlington. It gets through a foot. Marlington sending numbers forward, and it's just cleared away. The smart decision made by Wheel as she will concede the throw in, and that is why you tactically conceded there. Otherwise, it's a one-on-one chance against Cromartie. Chopped forward and hits Dubas. Looks like she has the wind knocked out of her a little bit. We might see the whistle blow for a stoppage, and we do. Something similar to what we saw in the Mount Union girls soccer game this past Saturday, where they ended up taking down Denison 2-1. One of the girls had to take a second after getting hit by a ball that was struck pretty hard within her close proximity. Most likely all it is just the player needing to catch her breath. We do have a substitute potentially getting ready underneath us. You have a couple who could come in for Ursuline, but we will see what they decide to do. It appears whoever got struck is okay as they are walking on their own power, and we see the thumbs up from one of the defenders on the edge of the box, signaling the player is okay. Definitely hate to see injuries at any level, especially in the high school game. Getting the wind knocked out of you, unfortunately, is part of the sport, especially with the ball being struck with such power. Marlington will take it back after the drop ball. Rolls through. Cromartie scoops it up, but the whistle blows before as Marlington got penalized. The Dukes tried to turn the corner, but too much physicality shown as the foul was committed. Ursuline trying to get forward, but Marlington will scoop it up and send it down the wing to where Ursuline will get it back as Rohrball sends it up the wing as they try to move more centrally. Gill takes it on the far side, fighting through pressure. Ursuline does their job as they will take possession. Another ball pinging off of a Duke. Skies it back, and now the ball will trade possessions a couple of times. Miller plays it down the wing. A big chance here for Ursuline. Dubas whips it in, and it's scooped and bobbled in between the sticks, but eventually pounced on by the goalkeeper. No harm, no foul, as we are around the 10-minute mark, or maybe just a little bit over it. Still no damage from either side. A save or two for both goalkeepers. Otherwise, it's been a midfield battle thus far, as it continues to be. Dubas getting the touch over to the wing. Mahone hustling forward, gets it, tries to play it down the wing, and can't get around the defender, Morlock, and it will go out of play for a Marlington throw. And a quick substitution made just behind the dugout there, as Marlington will make their first change of the game, as that is Kenzie Eichler coming in. Miller skies it, trying to pick out Kennedy. Kennedy turns the corner, the whistle blows. Didn't see exactly what they call most likely a high kick or an elbow, or potentially a handball. Could have been a number of things with that sort of attempt on the ball, as Young plays it forward, taken immediately by Mahone as she plays it back towards Miller. Mahone going down the wing, a heavy touch and good separation between the ball and the player, forced by Strabel as she created the space. Still goes out for an Ursuline throw. They try and play it down the wing to Mahone. It goes to the other number 4 in Strabel once again. As it pings out of play, Ursuline continuing to move down the touchline with a lot of throw-ins. They will do it again. Mahone with her right knee traps it. Strabel went to the ground as it goes out of play. Marlington will take it back. Controlled in the center by Hone, but she loses it. Cleared away, and Marlington will retreat on defense. Mahone going for the ball as the representative of Ursuline. It goes out of play, and once again, the Fighting Irish earn another throw-in. Mahone tries to trap it, cannot do so cleanly, goes out of play, and Marlington will take back possession. I mentioned it at around the 3-minute mark. I expect to see a lot of throw-ins in this game, as both teams like to concede them and let their defense set up. So far, it has worked out for both teams, as we've seen a number of throw-ins, and 9 times out of 10, possession has been won back on that throw-in pretty quickly or off of a bad trap after the throw. Ursuline a big chance at the edge of the 18-yard box. Gliding in is Miller. Miller the shot. Bounced and snatched. The ricochet almost favored Ursuline, but it's another save for Marlington. The first real big chance of the evening came from Jordan Miller, and the Dukes were able to stop it. Another substitution for Youngstown. Ursuline incoming at the next stoppage. Miller trapping it in the center circle. Ball pried away by Pauly. Heavy touch by Eichler. She loses it. Going to Casey. Casey down the wing trying to pick out Mahone, and it rolls out of play for a Marlington Dukes throw-in, and it looks like we will have a substitution here. I believe we should see it either at this stoppage or the next. Still waiting on the touchline is Farnsworth. Tipped on back to Eichler. Pate takes it in the defensive line as the right center back. Beautiful ball forward down the center. Kirby fighting, goes behind, and is able to pick out a pass going towards Gill. Gill getting clobbered in the air. She slides, trying to send the ball forward. Whistle will blow, and the foul will go against Ursuline as Gill is slow to get up. Her teammate will help her to her feet, but she's on a little bit of a hobble, so we will give her a second as we set up for the free kick, and it looks like we will see the substitution happen now. It looks like it's just a talking to, as of now, to Rohrball on the challenge. So numbers will get forward for Marlington. They have 4 plus the goalkeeper behind the free kick taker, Gill. Or excuse me, I believe that is number 5, Young. Ball played in. Gill going for it, keeps it in the 18-yard box. Bounce around, Cromartie gets a piece, and she did right in the nick of time as Hone was right there to slot it home if Cromartie mishandled it any further. A good recovery by the goalkeeper. It could have been disastrous, but she was able to regain her composure and snatch it. Strabel clears her lines, and it goes right at midfield for another Ursuline throw as Michaela Kish, the freshman, will take it. And now the substitution that has been well in the works comes to completion as Caitlin Kennedy subs out as Quinn Farnsworth takes her spot. Kish throws it in. Mahone down the wing and cleared. Ursuline looks like they will take it back once again. Still around 25 minutes left to go before halftime. 0-0 is your score. Chested in the air by Strabel. She has to go back and just clear her lines once again. Mahone right in her face. Ursuline dominating the throw-in battle. Kish looking for the ball, and it looks like that will give us a brief stop, but she will get it, so we will have the throw. Kish finding Farnsworth with a heavy touch taken in by Vitale. Dished back. Young down the near wing, plays it forward. Gill, a beautiful ball as she will run towards it. Wheel going back to greet her. Gill takes the touch right to the edge, plays it in. Good defense by Youngstown Ursuline as they're able to get the ball away. Rohrball once again in on the defense as she has been a big presence in the midfield and now the defensive line for Ursuline. Heavy touch by Mahone. She keeps it in just barely, not going over the touchline. The Fighting Irish are fighting down the near wing. Mahone looking for a target. Good defense once again by the captain, Strabel, as she forces it out of play. It will stay with Ursuline. From defense to offense, Ursuline, they're starting to gain their footing in this matchup. It was a good move down the wing, a beautiful opportunity. Mahone barely kept it in play. That moves them into their final third, and they will work from there. Farnsworth. Bounces around and will go out of play for another Ursuline throw. Mahone going towards Miller. Miller down the wing. Good challenge down. Miller keeping it in play. At the edge of the box is Ursuline. They kick it back out. Casey at the edge from well outside. Curls and snagged in between the posts. A good idea from Ursuline. They're trying to catch the goalkeeper off guard. A couple of good shots thus far, but still no damage from either team. Headed down the line, bouncing around. It is Tynell going for the ball for Ursuline. Gets past her. Marlington will get numbers forward as they're still looking for their opener. Dubas, the closest player for Ursuline, couldn't get there, and we will see Marlington make a substitution now as Ashlyn Pauly, the freshman, subs in for Kenzie Eichler. Walter. Heavy touch down the wing, trying to pick out Hone, and it goes out of play. Once again, Ursuline takes a throw-in. We We do not have the statistics, but if I had to guess, Ursuline is leading the throw-in battle by a good almost 10 by now. Maybe a little bit too early for that much of a lead, but that's what it feels like. Pure domination on the wings as they're able to work up and down the flanks. Marlington looking to give Ursuline a taste of their own medicine as they throw it in. Goes out of play, a missed touch there by Young. Ursuline takes it back. And before the throw, we will have a substitution. Leah Finnegan, the sophomore, will sub in.
Substitution for Ursuline, number 8, Leah Finnegan.
And that will see Elizabeth Tynell, the junior, sub out. Ball whipped in on a side angle throw, taken in by Hone. Hone fighting for it with Casey. It goes down the wing in favor of Ursuline, but it's cleared away by Walter. Once again, Ursuline will take the throw on the far side, looking to find some gap in Marlington's otherwise strong defense. A big chance upcoming. Gill turning the corner to her right, looking for help. Turns now, going back a little bit, plays it forward. A good ball, but Cromartie is able to come off her line and snag it. Hone still a good couple of feet away from the ball at the time of her stop. Cromartie punts it away. Going right exactly at midfield. It bounces into Marlington defensive territory as they play it forward. It gets right past Miller. Going for it for Marlington is once again Allie Gill. Gill looking for help. Finds it off to her left in the form of Bailey Young. Young loses possession. Miller takes it back for Ursuline. Beautiful ping down the wing. That might be the best pass of the game thus far as it's going for Dubas. Dubas able to get there, boxing out in the corner, looking for help. Can Ursuline use the great pass to their advantage and get numbers forward? Rohrball sending it into the middle of the pitch, and it's cleared away by Marlington. That could have been the start of a good possession for Ursuline, but good defense sends it out of play. They will reset. Nothing more you could have asked Miller to do on that pass, and a perfect spot down the wing. Now, can Ursuline build off of that? That is a big positive for them in this first half. That is something they have done well, passing, but keeping possession. It has been a struggle as Marlington takes advantage of it once again. Hone on the near side, trying to outpace, sends it forward, trying to pick out Gill, and Cromartie comes off her line once again. Credit to both goalkeepers. They've had a little bit of trouble fielding the ball, but that's to be expected. The first rain on the field in a couple of weeks. So Marlington getting used to the grass once again. And Ursuline, if I'm not mistaken, they do not play on grass, a lot of turf fields. So it might take some getting used to for the goalkeepers, especially with all the divots in the ground. They've done a nice job to keep their composure and do the most important thing in goalkeeping, keep the ball in front of them. Miller touches to her right, goes over to Young. Young loses it. Going for it now is Gill. She loses it. Miller down the wing. Advantage, it looks like, will be played in favor of Ursuline. Ball goes up the wing as it was cleared away by Maddie Gill. Ursuline whips it in once again, trying to pick out Finnegan. Bounces back, sent forward, and will go out for another goal kick. Whistle blows. That will bring on Kelly Johnson, the defensive sophomore, as she will sub in for Marissa Walter.
Substitution for the Dukes, number 7.
Officially halfway through the first half with 18:30 left to go in the first 40. Still honors even. Both sides have had their chances, but once again, this has been a battle in the midfield. Mahone to Miller. Stepping up and making the play is Vitale. Gill going for it, bounces off a couple defenders, plays it off to her right. A beautiful self-pass, Marcus Mariota style, gets her down the wing. Cutting back to her left, she will lose it as she is tripped up by Wheel, but the whistle will blow. No flag today, as that will give us a free kick. As I'm sure you've seen a couple of times, when we have our substitutions or throw-ins, all it is because of the hand and offsides as well. There are no flags today for the linesmen, so it might be a little bit more difficult to see when we have an offside call. As to do the car analogy, you're doing car turning signals essentially to signal the offside, to signal when you can make the substitution. Usually you'll see the official hold up the flag with two hands, and that will signify the change. a little bit different today at Marlington, but once again, another chance for the Dukes. I believe their second free kick on the cusp of the 18-yard box. They had one just reflected over to the far side early on in the game. Bailey Young, arm goes up, she whips it in. Edge of the box, no one home for either side. A couple of slips. That's to be expected with all the rain that we had over the past 24 hours. It will be Young taking it down the wing. Too much pace on the ball as it zips out of play, giving another throw to the visitors. Once again, as you can see from our vantage point, we do have the dugout benches in the way, so we do apologize for that. We will do our best to work around that. Strable playing it forward, trying to get in front. She will collide. It goes to Miller. Miller, the captain, has been a stronghold from box to box today for Ursuline, as once again she looked to set up another attacking possession, but Kelly Johnson, the substitute of a few moments ago, will concede the throw on the far side as she will allow her teammates to set up in the final third of Ursuline. Finnegan will get it on the pass, tries to play it up the pitch. She'll get it at the edge of the box, taking in Finnegan the shot, and it's scooped up cleanly. Good defense by Marlington. Another substitution incoming as Eichler will come in once again. That could see Pauly check out once again. Gill chesting it down, playing it off to the center. Vitale cutting to her right and intercepted by Kish as Kish will play it out of play. And we do see the substitution instead of Pauly like it was last time. We will see Bailey Young, the sophomore, sub out for the Dukes. Ball intended for Vitale, fighting for it against Miller. Miller got a piece, but Vitale does a nice job to play it down the wing. Going for Hone, taking it in for Ursuline is Bolito, and she will concede the throw-in. Now as Marlington starts to apply the pressure, we're seeing Ursuline revert back to conceding the throw-in, similar to what Marlington has done after Ursuline dominated the midfield for the first 20 minutes. The tides are starting to slowly shift in favor of Marlington. Beautiful ball whipped into the 18-yard box just now to the edge of it as it rolls out. Maddie Gill lays it off for her teammate Kirby, and Kirby misses wide to the right of Cromartie for another goal kick. Good pressure by Marlington. They're starting to test the defense of Ursuline. It's been a defensive and midfield battle thus far. Looking at the goals per game, Ursuline averaging under 1, Marlington averaging just over 1. So this is to be expected in the first half. I would not be surprised to see both teams head into halftime tied up at 0 or in a 1-0 game. I don't expect to see more than one goal scored in this first half. Speaking of goals, Marlington looking for their first into the 18-yard box. A good chance at the edge. A beautiful turn back, and the shot is scooped up by Cromartie. Anastasia Vitale with the chance could not convert. The Dukes setting up for a double change while Ursuline will make a singular change. Shinned down by Farnsworth. It goes to Marlington. Trying to pick out Hone was Gill. She couldn't find it. Strable plays it down the wing. Emma Hone. Back to Pauly down the wing. And it will roll out of play. The whistle will blow and the substitutions will come on. It will be a duo of duos coming on as Kennedy joins the party with Tynel in the last seconds before the change is made for Ursuline, as we see a couple of extra players sub out as well for Marlington. Both sides have used rotation to their advantage throughout this contest. Miller at the edge of the box plays it forward. And we do have a whistle just at the edge of the box as the ball was sent back by Vitale. So now we will have our third free kick just at the edge of the 18-yard box for Marlington. It looks like we will have a 3-man wall with Miller, Bolito, and Kish standing just off to the side and now in front of the free kick taker, Allie Gill. The senior has a chance to put Marlington up. And given where they have to back up to, looking at the space, you can see right above Gill's head. If someone can make a run into that space or she can curl it around the wall, either way, it's a good chance. Gill takes a shot on target towards Cromartie. It's chested and goes wide. Marlington's head coach giving encouragement, and deservingly so, to his team. It was a good chance. The chesting just missing, but still, there's still plenty of time left to go in the first half. Still time to go in this game. Marlington, they're starting to take momentum, and they're only one error from Ursuline away from taking the lead. We haven't called the name of Morlock much, but she's able to set up Hone. Chipped into the box, going through, no one home. Gill the closest Duke to it as Cromartie collides with one of her defenders. Good defense on the edge of the box. Tynel avoiding the penalty, and it goes out of play, and it looks like that will signal a breather for Ursuline. Great defense on the edge of the box by Elizabeth Tynel. We've seen the refs be willing to call fouls early and often in this game, and if that would have been called, it would have been a penalty kick in a prime spot momentum-wise for Marlington that they could have taken advantage of. Maybe 5-10 minutes earlier, it would have been more momentum Ursuline, and they could deal with it. But if Marlington can win a penalty kick right now, I would be surprised if it didn't go in favor of the Dukes and they took a lead. And there it is once again, another foul going against Ursuline. They are dealing with the elements, so are Marlington, but a couple of extra slips going in favor of the Dukes. Around 11:15 left to go in the first half. Ball whipped in, headed on back by Bolito. Ursuline skying it, looking to clear their lines. And they do. Ball played forward towards Kennedy. Kennedy will have the ball taken from her by Pate, as Pate will concede the throw. Bailey Young awaiting her time to come back into the game and make an impact. We called her name on a couple of possessions where she would send the ball forward, and she will come in to an attacking position for the Dukes, as this will see Kenzie Eichler sub out of the game. Ball thrown in to Gill on the far flank, and it will go out of play for a throw to Ursuline. Whipped in and headed off to the wing. Hit with the side, and it stays in the air, hanging. It goes center. Going for it is Morlock as the representative of the Dukes, as she's able to get it away. Cleared out by Vitale as she's able to pick out Hone. Hone fighting against Kish. She will win the outside corner. A heavy touch and a bounce. She keeps possession after going up against Casey. Almost a handball against Kish, as it did get close. Ball continuing to bounce. Vitale loses possession to Casey as Casey finds Miller in the center of the pitch. She touches it to her right and sends it flying down the wing. She's attempting to pick out Dubas. It'll be in the corner by the flag. Her task is to turn around Vitale. Ball sent into the box going towards Kennedy. Pate clears away. It bounces. Mahone right there. Can't get to her. Rolls out. Gill coming back from her attacking position to help out on defense. Lines cleared. Ursuline will go again. Bolito sending it forward, and it will roll out of play for a goal kick. Just over a half hour gone. 0-0 is your score. Both teams having opportunities to score, but defense has been the storyline, along with midfield play that has prevailed over the attacks from both sides, as we see Kennedy sub out as Madison Rivera, the senior, comes on. Chip forward, trying to pick out Morlock. It goes to Hone. Hone dishes off to Vitale. Into the center, chipped forward, trying to pick out Hone. Hone goes up against Kish, and it's hit out to the wing. Mahone going for it. It goes now close to Morlock. Morlock sending it central, trying to pick out Vitale, and it's won back by Mahone. Mahone chipping it forward Intercepted by Strable. She loses it. Miller getting the edge. Here's a big chance for Ursuline at the edge of the 18-yard box. Miller from outside the box gets a little bit too much of the ball with the top of her foot. It looked like kind of a stubbed chance as it's scooped up in between the sticks once again by Marlington. Taken in by Vitale on the wing, sending it down the wing. She's trying to pick out Hone, and it's cleared away for a throw-in on the near side. Bolito able to clear her lines. Ball thrown in, going towards Young. Young at the edge of the 18, dishes it out wide. Hone dribbles to her right, whips it in, bounces Cromartie, bobbles, and falls on it. Gill not too far away once again from the bobble. Marlington definitely getting close to their opener. Cromartie boots it away. Bouncing back, Pate sends it forward. Young, the closest Duke in the area, chipped away by Rohrball, and the trippage from Young concedes the throw to Ursuline. Trapped Dubas, trying to dish it out to the wing. Gill in on the action, down the wing, and out of play for another Marlington throw-in. Controlled down and played for by Casey. Possession changes a couple of times. Young, closest to it on the wing, takes it, spins back, will square it. Gill touches with the right and plays it central. A little too far in front as Mahone takes it for Ursuline. Going back and dishing it off for Marlington was Pauly. Didn't have a decisive hit. Mahone plays it central, and there once again is Pauly as she sends it away for Miller to snatch it back for Ursuline. Mahone misses the touch. It goes back. Strable, the captain, has some work to do. Mahone fighting with her. It's 4v4, and it rolls out of play for a Marlington throw-in. And we do have a substitution here for Marlington. Strable down the wing and out of play. Ursuline will take it. Hoda Mahone going for it for Ursuline. She has it at the wing near the 18-yard box. She's in. Pate steps up and takes advantage of the heavy touch and will try and hit it out of play, and she does, giving her team a breather. And once again goes out of play. Marlington will take it back. Chested down by Hone. Hone fighting against Miller. It goes out of play. Marlington will inch backwards down the touchline. Trapped by Gill. Squared central to Walter. Walter trying to pick out a pass up pitch. Taken in. Gill sending the ball long for Hone. Cromartie thought about it, now decides to go for the ball. Right decision as she is able to take possession for Ursuline. Still a little bit of time. 4.5 to go in the first half. Definitely a lot of things to talk about at the break for both sides as they look to regather and find their decisive goal or their decisive point of difference. So far this year, Marlington has drawn twice. Both of those 3-3 thrillers. This one not really pointing in that direction. 0-0 is always on the table, but I feel Marlington definitely in a spot to score. Ursuline, they have come close. If they come out with the right mentality out of the break, then they can score early on in the second half. Taylor Goss coming on now for Hoda Mahone. Goal kick taken. Attempting the trap was Vitale. Chipped forward by Strable and down the wing. The ball goes out of play for a Marlington throw. Strable takes it down and out of play. Ursuline will work quickly. It's Goss sprinting to the ball, chucking it backwards towards Kish, the freshman, as she takes the throw. Rolls back towards Strable. Miller chasing and conceding the throw once again is Strable. Thrown in and taken by Marlington. They send it up once again. Casey going for it. She loses it. Marlington will have the throw as they will work the touchline. Gill turning, trapping. Gill still looking for help. Plays it forward, trying to pick out a pass. Cannot do so as it goes to the wing. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first 40. Gill losing it, goes back into the defensive line for Marlington as Walter sends it up the pitch. Young going for possession. She will see it out of play, and she will take the throw. Trapped by Allie Gill. She attempts to change field, going central, has help on the wing, played to Hone. Hone can't pick out a pass to the wing. She will do so after the trip. Hits off an Ursuline player. Miller heads it on back. Skied into a central area. Once again, hit up in the air by Casey. The attempted chest down goes to Marlington. 2 minutes left in the first 40. Hone tries to get it. It will stay in play in the corner. Marlington sending numbers into the box. On the ground, it enters the 18-yard box, and it's cleared away by Carly Casey. Goss hitting it off of a Duke. Marlington, do they have one last chance in the first half left in them? Clips around, goes to the opposite side. Here's the big chance. Hone making the run, blocked before it can get to her. Miller going for it, going up against a Duke, tries touching to her left, has to regroup, smacks it up the pitch, bouncing around, hitting off of Walter. Ursuline still sending what they can. Goss tried to get the good touch, but the captain Strabel got the better of the Fighting Irish. Casey going back on defense, sending it forward. The touch from Rivera going forward. She will go to the wing and just leaves it off for Dubas. Numbers getting forward. 2, now 3 and 4 joining the attack for Youngstown Ursuline. Dubas down the wing, going up against Walter. Into the 18-yard box towards Rivera. Pate turns over her shoulder. Won by Rivera. A heavy touch later by Marlington, and they're able to clear their lines, but a big opportunity missed by Ursuline. Hone fighting for it, sent on the changing of pitch. Skied in the air. Now into the center circle, a little bit of bouncing around. Here's a chance for the Dukes to get their opener. Hone on the near wing, going forward, fighting against the physicality. She will take a touch over to her right. The dying seconds of the half. 5 seconds on the clock. There is a corner that looks to be attempted, but there's just simply not enough time. We go into halftime. Honors even at Marlington as the Dukes and Ursuline continue to play a defensive battle. Before we step aside, the next broadcast live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel will be Sunday afternoon at Conotton Valley High School as KSU Tuscarawas plays in their second doubleheader of the fall season against Westmoreland County Community College. 12-2 are your start times of those games. To stay up to date on all the games I'm covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFest2024 on Twitter, and subscribe here to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when I upload or go live. The goal to get up to 250 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I am very grateful for the support over the last couple of days. That puts us at around 100 followers away from that, hoping to be able to get over the threshold come the turn of the year. We will step aside and rejoin you for the final 40 minutes here at Marlington. Momentarily, you are watching Marlington versus Youngstown Ursuline Girls Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Second half of play at Marlington about to get underway. 0-0 is your score in this Monday night OHSAA girls soccer clash live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. If you're a small business owner looking to sponsor local broadcasts, contact me at one of those 3 contact places on your screen, preferably email. I am looking to bring on sponsors to do some games in the local area, and that helps us make our production here at SmeeSports as high-tech as possible. So, if you're interested, please contact me, and I would love to work out a deal with you. And as well, once again, SmeeSports is your official broadcast partner, if you will, of Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. So this game, in a few weeks, will re-air over on the actual TV station. Second 40 underway as Marlington looks for their first goal of the game, and same for Ursuline. The first goal might be the only one. Hone, right away, cutting. The shot, just saved away. A beautiful job by Cromartie as she is tested early in the second half. That was the big shot. Hone had the opportunity. Cromartie tips it and saves the ball away. Definitely not a used term, but it works. Saving the ball away, it's not a snag. It's not a tip. It's more of that shove. It's still a save. It goes down as a save in the stat book. So, Cromartie adds another one to her tally as Marlington will regroup. That would have been huge for momentum going into the second half. Marlington, they controlled the game for the final 20 of the opening frame. That would have been huge as they look to earn their first win since October 2nd, 2023, which was a 2-1 win over Southeast Ravenna. Next week, they will have a big game on 10-2 as well. It's the backyard brawl against Alliance. That will be a big game, and I believe one that will be live streamed live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel once again, along with the boys' version, with that game taking place at Alliance's facilities. As of right now, I believe it is at Rock Hill, but it could always change to Len Dawson, like a few games have already this year. So stay tuned for updates on that game. Ursuline sending their numbers forward as they look for a gap in the defense of Marlington. Vitale sending it forward, picks out Young. Young chips it forward, no one home, so Ursuline will take it back. Dubas fighting, a good box out by Young, hits it out of play. As that will give Ursuline the throw. And they will get it once again. They will work the touchline like they did in the first half. Young hitting it out of play. Ursuline more than happy to continue their push towards the attacking third. Kennedy going forward against Pate. Pate will clear her lines, but it will still go to Ursuline in the corner. Fuchs going for it. She loses it as it's taken in by Maddie Gill and hit down the wing. Ursuline will get it back to Fuchs up right by the light post. Squared centrally. Tynel going for it, chips it over. Miller, who was arguably Ursuline's best player in the first half, takes it from long distance and scores! What a goal from well outside the box by Jordan Miller to open the scoring for Youngstown Ursuline. Well, if there was any doubt that she was the best player on the pitch in the first half for Ursuline, get rid of those doubts from well outside the box. Maybe 30 yards out? That's just a rough estimate. Either way, it's advantage Ursuline with still 37-16 to play in the 80. But what a momentum killer against Marlington, and what a huge opportunity taken by Ursuline. And Marlington, they will work quickly to try and get it back. Played into Hone, hit outside the box, and Fuchs will take it in and hit it out of play. But wow, that goal took us all by surprise. Miller from outside the box. That is why you test the goalkeeper. See what you can do, and that is exactly what the visitors did. I mentioned it just before the break. Whatever is said at halftime will have to be huge to spur on both teams. And whatever Ursuline's coach said to his team clearly has worked. Played out, intercepted by Gill. A couple of changes incoming for Ursuline. They try to pick out Hone. It's sent forward. Kennedy going for it. Marlington will take it back. Young chips it forward, trying to pick out Hone. Cannot find her. Skied off the knee of Gill and down the wing. Fuchs running for it. Strable takes a touch and gets past her. But too heavy of a touch as it goes back to Ursuline. Kennedy trying to box out and get some space. Instead, it's cleared away, and we will have a throw-in on the far flank for Ursuline as they make a trio of changes. Now a duo, it looks like, as Cromartie will still stay out of the game. Instead, Farnsworth and Mahone come in. Fuchs subbing out along with Kish. 1-0 if you're just tuning in favor of an excellent effort by one of the two captains, Jordan Miller, from well outside the 18-yard box to put Ursuline up. Marlington had the majority of the chances in the last 25 minutes, but clinicality, that favors the Fighting Irish. They have the luck of the Irish on their side today for sure. Hone fighting forward. Gets a little elbow in there. She will win it back, and the whistle will blow as she goes to ground as well. Ursuline will take it back after the foul. Plenty of physicality still being shown in the later stages of this game. Around the 50 to 60 minute mark is when you see fatigue really start to hit. I'm sure if you play high school soccer or even still play soccer, you can agree you get kind of into a rhythm of things and you start to get tired pretty quickly. A handball there. Marlington, as you can see, just frustrated. She knew it immediately. Just something subconsciously done. Miller, heavy touch. She won't have a chance from well outside the box once again. She will run at it along with the sprinting Rohrball. She will go up against Young. Young going to ground. Nothing called. Ursuline will continue. Morlock chipping it. It goes forward. Hone fighting for it. Hone gets to the corner. It's only one man to beat. Bolito there, and a big tackle by the other captain. Both captains making pivotal plays for the Fighting Irish in the early stages of the second half. And the Fighting Irish will keep possession with a throw-in. Or, excuse me, it will be Marlington who takes it. Thrown in down the wing. Squared centrally into no man's land. No one really home for either team. It goes back. Kirby takes it, dishes it to Vitale, and now Mahone. Her first touches since subbing out in the second half. Sprinting on a solo run down the center. She loses it. Pings forward. It's pinball between the two outfits as it's won back by Vitale. Out to the wing. Eicher cuts against Miller as she flies forward. Vitale, a beautiful touch forward to Gill, and a good box out once again. Farnsworth and Bolito have been two rock-solid defenders today for Ursuline. Them, along with Cromartie, have really headed the monster that is the defense of Ursuline. And you add on top of it the box-to-box presence of Jordan Miller. Ursuline has really put together a complete game. As speaking of Miller, she goes to ground and earns a foul for Ursuline. Going back to our collaboration with the TV station tomorrow on Channel 1022, Alliance takes on Minerva in a volleyball clash at 6 p.m. with myself on the call. It'll be the full production live from the Harry Fales Gymnasium at Alliance High School. Ball chipped forward into no man's land. It bobbles and falls. Almost a disastrous play as Marlington will survive, as it looks like it is Carly Bernard in between the sticks as she is able to get possession. Young sends it forward and Farnsworth gets rid of it. Mahone down the wing has some space. A couple of white jerseys making themselves available in the center as it's cleared away by the captain Strable. Cut back and sent down by Young. Rolling back still as Wheel dishes it off to Cromartie. Gill chasing, trying to get a touch. She forces a heavy one and will win back possession for the Dukes. Gill bouncing back. Young squaring it, meets Tynel. Tynel trying to pick out Kennedy. It rolls to the center circle where it's taken in by Walter. Walter ships it forward as quick as she can. A heavy touch backwards by Young. Gives a good chance to Miller. Miller goes to ground, and that'll be the second time in the span of 90 seconds that she earns a foul for Ursuline. After that opener, Miller definitely getting more physical attempts against her. A lot more elbows, a lot more heavy challenges. Miller is going through a gauntlet, and, well, she earned it. She scored that goal, and now she's being treated like a superstar. Ball played to Miller right there, trying for her brace, and can't get there. In a game like this, most likely 2 goals would be enough to see out a victory. Ursuline getting close. They have taken momentum as they have had the majority of the touches this half. Miller fighting. Does a nice job to keep possession, but she loses it. Too heavy of a touch as Vitale gets in the way. Miller wins it back. Miller from well outside the box again. This time it goes wide to the right. And you can hear Ursuline's coach telling them to mark up and don't give them an out. A beautiful idea. I like that. Especially given the scenario of the game. Why not send your attackers forward? Press, win the ball. Mahone tries to do so. It gets past her, and they will have a throw, it looks like, on the far side. Actually, looks like maybe hit off of Mahone. No, it didn't. I was about to say, it didn't look like it hit off of her, but based on the reaction by Marlington, it was their ball. Now it is not. They throw it in on the far side as they attempt to pick out Mahone. Instead, getting in the way of it is Gill. Eichler about to sub in for Marlington as the Dukes continue to play defense. Miller fighting for it on the wing, wins it, has a chance to whip it in. And she will earn a set piece on the corner flag. So a good move overall. A corner can be set up here now for Ursuline. They will stack numbers at the edge of the 18-yard box. Look for a run back post. A lot of high schoolers, they go back post. That is where they like to attack. An overlapping run made back post. A beautiful movement. They attempt to get back. They're a little bit shy. It's headed there in the end. The shot, a little bit too much of trippage on the play by Dubas. She can't get a clean look. Cleared away, but right into the feet of Rornsboro. Sent forward, slipping through, skied by Rohrbaugh. Headed into the final third and 18-yard box. Marlington will win back possession. A ball played towards home. A pivotal block in the center. I believe that came from Dubas. Gill fighting on the near flank. Desperate to keep possession. She goes to ground at the edge of the 18-yard box. She's still fighting. Chips back. Morlock going for it. Doesn't win it. Cleared away. And it's taken in by Walter. Walter squares it out to the wing. Morlock not ready for it. It continues to roll. She will sprint, trying to keep possession for Marlington. And Ursuline will concede the throw as they will set up their defense. Eichler along with Rivera setting up for their changes as they are ready to come on the pitch and make an impact. Chested down by Casey. Chipping into the air and missing is Dubas. It goes out of play, and we will see the 2 changes. Morlock subbing out for Marlington, and Kennedy coming off for Ursuline. Trapped by Walter. Plays it to Vitale. Vitale into no man's land. Miller takes it, touches. She will sprint down the center. A heavy touch. Pate does her job, sends it forward. Going for it now, Dubas. It goes. Vitale fighting for it and sent up the pitch by Casey. Headed out to the wing and out of play. Ursuline, they're applying pressure. They have dominated this second half and continue to do so. The defense leaving an open space with a throw too far ahead. Tynel in the right place at the right time. She goes to ground, and I believe the foul will go against Ursuline. So Marlington will take back possession at around the edge of the final third of the Fighting Irish. 26:30 left to go in the 80. Sent away by Kirby. One in the center of the pitch by Marlington. Gill sending it forward to the wing. Picks out Hone. Hone down the wing, looking for help, cutting to her right, shipping it into a dangerous spot at the edge of the box, and sent back. Strable taking it. Going down the wing, right up against Mahone. Down the wing and into Ursuline territory as it's the captain, Marina Belito, taking it out of play. Young gearing up for a throw. Marlington looking for a reply to Miller's worldie. Bounces into a box. Gill going for it. Headed around and will roll out of play. Based off the initial diagnosis, it will be a corner. Once again, Ursuline's coach instructing his players to mark up. They need to more here than they do back looking at that goal kick. This is a big set piece. Marlington looking for their equalizer. Ball whipped in. Gill close overlapping runs. Hone got a piece and misses wide to her right. Another good chance there for the home team, but still the clinicality not there. Ursuline can breathe a sigh of relief as they are one step closer to victory. So far this year, they have only had one clean sheet, and that came in the 3-0 victory over South Range back on August 31st, which was their last win. Controlled by Walter. Chipped forward, trying to pick out Eichler. Ball now on the wing. Marlington looking for help. A fighting Irish player goes to the ground, trying to win possession. Some chippy play still. Good possession by Marlington. They continue to attempt to keep it. Miller clears her lines. Walter going back, trying to beat Dubas. Dubas will fight for the ball in the corner, right in front of the dugout. It will be an Ursuline throw as she wins it. Once again, a tough vantage point with the sheds or the dugouts, if you will, in the way. Miller down the wing. It goes rolling back to Walter. One back by Ursuline. They take it on the wing. Casey fighting forward. Taken in by Eichler in the center of the pitch. She has numbers forward and plays it no one home. Skied back into Ursuline territory and taken by Gill. Gill has Hone making a run. She needs to be careful to time it properly. Has plenty of pressure from Miller. Miller does a nice job to turn back and win possession. A big play as she continues to be a thorn in the side of Marlington as a box-to-box midfielder, attacker, defender, and overall utility player. The ability of Miller to keep her stamina as high as it is as she continues to go from box to box is nothing short of impressive. There's a reason why, as of right now, she is the player of the game. She has the goal, she has the hustle, and she has the know-how of the game. She has played a really smart game. She has been really targeted almost by Marlington. Anytime she has the ball, 2-3 defenders going against her, that is potentially the biggest compliment a player could get, being double, triple teamed, especially in a game like this. Dubas fighting on the wing, trying to get an edge. She can't get there. Marlington will take it back. Pauly to throw. Taken in by Vitale. She fights around the corner. Casey creates enough separation. Miller, a heavy touch. It goes out of play. And Marlington will have another throw in front of the visiting bench. 22 minutes remain in the 80. Still a 1-0 scoreline, courtesy of Miller. Walter going back, fighting to keep possession. It rolls right to the touchline and just out of play as the attempt from Ashlyn Pauly just fell short. Dubas trying to trap, getting separation is Pauly, and once again, it goes out of play for a Marlington throw. There have been plenty of throw-ins in this game. We had to be nearly 50 now, I would say. I know that's a high number, but it's seeming like there's 3 or 4 per minute. You have a couple of passes, and it goes out of play. Do we see that sequence continue here? Ursuline, look like they were trying to do so. Flicked forward. Here's their chance. Dubas into the center. One back by Marlington. And speaking of throw-ins, actually, no, we will not have one. It looked like it was going out of play, and now we do. So there it is. The throw-in game continues as Ursuline concedes it this time around. Marlington getting into an attacking scenario. Look to move the ball down the touchline and potentially into a dangerous spot in the box. Bounces forward. The trip up gives a big chance to the visitors. Tynell, a heavy touch. Pate gets in the way and intercepts it for the Dukes. The block ball against Dubas goes out of play. Youngstown Ursuline will take back possession. Chucked in by Rohrball. Casey down the wing trying to pick out Dubas. It continues to roll into a spot where Walter can take it, and she will concede the throw-in. Trapped in the center by Casey. Trying to find her way forward. Mahone going for it, and the whistle will blow. It's a foul against the visitors. And right below us, a substitution impending. It'll be the sophomore defender, Kelly Johnson, about to sub in as the Dukes look to shore up their defensive line. Ball sent away by Kirby into the center. Vitale taking a heavy touch, trying to pick out Hone. Ball bouncing around, whistle blows, and it points in the opposite direction. Youngstown Ursuline will take it back. Bolito will take the free kick inside the larger center circle than the main one. Definitely a beautiful design in the center of the pitch. You can see the orange on your screen along with the white. But also you see the black circle in the center. That's the main center circle. Then you have the larger, but still, you see this lining. You don't see the football lines. It's kind of an interesting feel here as a lot of high schools play on their football field. Marlington and Alliance, they don't. They have separate complexes. Well, technically Len Dawson does have the lining, but Rock Hill does not. So half the time Alliance plays on a proper soccer pitch, and half the time they play on a football field. Here, Marlington, any home game, 9 times out of 10, it's on this field. And it's a beautiful complex just across the road from the high school. They'll make some changes, but a beautiful complex here. And in a few weeks, when we return to our volleyball coverage of Marlington, and we will be back in their beautiful gymnasium. I was there for a playoff basketball game last year between Marlington and Holy Name, a big win for the Dukes. A nice skybox in there. Looking forward to being back in that venue to showcase one of the best teams in the greater Stark County area, as Marlington has aspirations to make it back to the big time in the OHSAA tournament. Hone to the wing. Takes a heavy touch going down. Here's a chance for the Dukes. She gets tripped up, still on her feet. Advantage played. Hone tripped up, going to her right, looking for help. Plays it back centrally to Kirby. Kirby sends it forward, and the whistle will blow. It appears to be a foul against Youngstown Ursuline, so we will have a set piece at the edge of the box for the Dukes. And after a brief moment, it is moved back a little bit further, but still in close proximity. Bailey Young to take the set piece. Whipped in. Bounces into a dangerous spot. It's anyone's ball. It rolls away. The chance. Cromartie coming off her line and making the big stop. Hone was right there. She had the right idea, but the gutsy call by the goalkeeper did just enough and prevented any damage. If she would have stayed on her line, I think we'd be talking about a tie game. But instead, Ursuline still holds on to the clean sheet. Chested down into the center circle and sent back up by the Dukes. Hone fighting for it. They lose it. It goes to Tynell down the wing. Rivera counterattacking is Ursuline. They square it central. Overlapping run. Miller from outside the box chips it. Tries to replicate and just misses. a little bit wide to the right, but had the correct trajectory. The chip shot might be the right idea for Ursuline at this point if they're looking for their second. That's not usually a shot you see taken from outside the box. If anything, a chip's a one-on-one. You have the goalkeeper, and you just need leverage. Instead, Ursuline, they're embracing it. They're taking chips from outside the box and hoping the downward fall of the ball fools the goalkeeper, and on one occasion, from well outside the box, it has. Dubas gets the better of the defender, but instead, Pate comes into play and clears it away. Ursuline showing urgency, whips it in. Casey traps it. Sent in, bounces around, and cleared away by Morlock. Danger still not dealt with as it's won back by Rohrball. It goes out to the wing. Morlock once again getting a piece. Goss, who just subbed in moments ago, gets the better of Morlock, plays it forward, trying to find Tynel. She cuts back, plays it in near the box towards Dubas. Dubas in the corner will lose it, and Marlington will concede yet another throw-in as Kelly Johnson sends it out of play. Less than 15 minutes to go, so 65 minutes played at Marlington High School. Your score, Youngstown Ursuline 1, Marlington 0, courtesy of number 23, Jordan Miller, the captain, with a sensational strike from well outside the 18-yard box. Talk about a singular point of difference in a game. When you look at the final score, 1-0, a tight battle, but Jordan Miller's shot shocked everyone and really drained the momentum that Marlington had been building for the better part of 20 minutes. Miller at the edge of the box, boxing out, plays it off, a nice pass towards Goss. Goss fighting, gets it away to her captain, sent back by the outside foot. Casey sending it, Mahone going for it. It rolls past everyone and out of play for a goal kick. Another good idea, but a beautiful pass by Miller using the outside of her foot. Usually you'll see that used sparingly, but she used it to her advantage and picked out a good pass as once again, Ursuline, they've done a great job with passing today. We saw Miller in the first half with the first really big play, a beautiful cross from the near side to the far end of the pitch where a run was being made. But since then, the passes have gotten crisper for the visitors. Marlington sending numbers forward, looking for an opportunity. The ball is sent out of play into the parents sitting in their lawn chairs. Miller at the edge of the box, waiting to defend for Ursuline. It's squared. No one home. It rolls past to Morlock. Morlock centrally plays it and bounces around. Miller will clear her lines as Pate will go for it, but instead it's Mahone running for it. So Pate will have to rush her efforts as she is able to send it up the pitch with ease. Miller once again in on the action, forces the ball away as we do have the ball, I believe, go out on the far side. So once again, Miller with good defense will allow her fellow captain, Bolito, to throw in. Gill tripped up and finally goes sprawling out to the pitch. Free kick for Marlington. They're looking for an answer with just around 10 minutes to go. Ball played in. And once again, it is Cromartie coming off her line and making another play for the Fighting Irish. That ball intended for Emma Hone. A lot of balls picked out towards her area, but still Cromartie and the defense continues to hang on to their clean sheet. But arguably the toughest 10 minutes of play still yet to come. It's 1-0, but this game far from over. With a win today, Ursuline would improve to 3-9 on the campaign. Ball rolls out of play as the Fighting Irish will take a quick throw into a central dangerous area. Tynel plays it forward. The heavy bounce off of Dubas goes to the wing. Mahone fighting for it, gets it back to Miller. Intended for Dubas, picked out by a Dukes defender. It goes away to Kirby as Kirby sends it out of play for an Ursuline throw. Down the wing, intended for Mahone. Good defense once again by Marlington. They look to send the ball forward and concede another throw, as this time it is Maddie Gill, the midfield senior, who concedes it. Chucked back into play at the edge of the final third. Squared centrally towards Tynel in the air. Miller the touch, going to her right. Based on that attempt, she was about to set up for a shot. Miller gets a piece. She goes to ground, and it's enough to free the ball ajar from Marlington. Goss going for it against Marlock. Rolls to her right, now continues that way, chips it in. Pate, the touch on her left. It goes to Ursuline. They fight for it. They have it at the edge. Goss going up against the bigger Morlock, and she uses her size and boxes out and is able to keep possession for a brief moment before clearing her lines. With her being taller in that instance, that was a huge play for Marlington. She was able to use that to her advantage and make a play. When we've called her name, she has been able to make a play for the Dukes today. We've seen her a lot on both sides, up and down the pitch. She's definitely been a bright spot in this team for Marlington. Miller, from well outside the box, tries her luck once again, but the whammy gets her as it goes wide to the right. Don't know what audience I have listening right now, but I'm hoping the older folks picked up on the press your luck reference. Hits off of Mahone and rolls towards Miller in the corner. Sent into the box, it rolls. It's in a dangerous spot. The goalkeeper flies forward and trips up Tynel. A big save from Marlington. Can they use this to their advantage as some momentum? Hone going for it against Goss. Tips it back. Still Emma Hone. Changes field, picking out Young. Young going back, gets tripped up, plays it forward as she slips towards Vitale. Vitale has numbers, goes outside, going towards Emma Hone. Emma Hone, the equalizer for the Dukes. It has been coming since the opening minutes. Both 8:41 left to go. We are tied up in alliance. Emma Hone has been due for her goal, and there it is. Honors even with less than 10 minutes to go. I said it a few moments ago. The final 10 would be the most tough of this matchup, and it has proven to be so. It's 1-1, Emma Hone, the equalizer. It took 72 minutes, but the perfect pass was played, and now Ursuline fighting for their winner, Miller, to answer back. Jordan Miller goes wide to the left. We will have a tight finish as expected on a beautiful night for soccer in Alliance at Marlington High School. The substitution being made by the home team, Walter coming on in place of Kelly Johnson. Could we see a second straight draw, the third one of the year for Marlington? It rolls through to Emma Hone, the momentum in favor of the Dukes by now. Emma Hone cutting back to her right, looking for help, able to keep it, passes it off to Gill, and good defense employed. But still, Hone able to come back and win it. Played central. Miller is there as well. Has to be aware of where she is at all times. A heavy touch missed as it just clips awkwardly off, and it rolls into a dangerous spot. Pate steps up and gets it out to the corner. Here is Morlock once again. Hits it forward. It bounces, but still she does her job as the line is cleared, as Ursuline will have a throw. 7:20 and counting left to go. 1-1 is your score. Jordan Miller and Emma Hone are your goal scorers. Morlock got a piece. It goes down the wing towards Miller. Miller fighting forward, trying to get an edge over Kirby. Cannot do so. Now Walter in on the action. Miller trying to do it herself. Whips in the cross. Goes across the face of goal and will rush towards the corner flag. Mahone trying to keep it in play. She rolls. No whistle. Ball kept in, but Marlington has it. Central. Here come the Dukes quickly, looking to catch Ursuline off guard. But once again, it is the captain stepping up in Bolito. Captain to captain as Miller takes it. She goes to her right. Jordan Miller from well outside the box. A chip shot goes wide to the left by a couple feet as it rolls out of the facility. The slight gap in the fence sends it to the Wolves as we'll have a new ball for the goal kick. I do not envy the person who has to go and fetch that ball after the game. Goss trying to trap, loses it as Morlock will take it. Plays it on back. Walter fighting for the pinball. Trapped down by Dubas. Down the wing. As it rolls, it will go out of play. Once again tomorrow on Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance, it is the Aviators playing host to the Minerva Lions. 6 o'clock will be the time of the first set with myself on the call with the full production back live over on the channel. Looking forward to that game for the first game of Alliance Volleyball on our coverage. I have done a couple over here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. After this game, you can go check those out, including the Backyard Brawl, which took place, I believe, on September 10th. Marlington having a great game. Want to see the highlights? Go back and take a look at that stream under the live tab. Around 5 minutes left to go. It rolls into a dangerous spot. Casey chipping in and trying to pick out Mahone. Chested down in the center by the captain, Strabel, and sent back up the pitch. Farnsworth, a heavy touch, squares it into the box and out of play. The honors might be shared at the end of this one. Marlington would then go to 3 points total if you go to the 3-point system. Ursuline would be up to 7. They have other plans. Mahone sends it forward, and it's scooped up in between the sticks once again. Sent forward. Ursuline trying to get momentum. Hone trapping with the left, going forward, fighting against Casey. She is tripped up there. We could see some cards fly in the late stages, depending on how the official deems the tackle, whether it be a possession stopper or just a basic challenge to try and win the ball. It looks like we're not going to see a card. I'm almost surprised we don't on that challenge. You saw the first one trip her up, and then the second one sent her flying. I can see why, but at the same time, maybe not. Taken on the ground to the corner, it's Gill. Gill taking it herself, gets around the defender, squared into the box. Marlington tripping up, looking for a chance, and it's won by, once again, the captain, Bolito, as she steps up for the Fighting Irish. At the edge of the box, a shot, it goes wide. A good job by Ursula and a couple of defenders in the vicinity move out of the way to avoid allowing a corner kick. Marlington, they have momentum. Could we see them punch it in at the death? I would not be surprised when we hear there's 1 minute left to go that Miller would take a shot. Winning it for the home team is Morlock. Morlock bodying her way forward. It goes back, taken in by Walter. Walter sending it up the pitch. A miscue here would be huge for either side. Potentially a fatal miscue. Pate going back, the only line of defense. She needs to clear her lines, and she does. Getting hit, the whistle blows, and Marlington can set up with a set piece with 2:51 and counting left to go in the 80. And since this is a regular season affair, we will not have extra time at the final whistle if it is still tied. Hone playing it back to Pate. Pate central to Kirby. Kirby down the wing, intercepted by Farnsworth, but goes back. Hone, the goal scorer, dishes to Young. Young, it hits off of a player of Ursula, and it goes to Hone at the edge of the box. Emma Hone whips in across, trying to go back post. It continues to roll, and the effort on the far side by Maddie Gill, not enough to keep it in play as Ursuline can take the goal kick. The PA announcer signals 2 minutes left to go in regulation. Gill, the quick throw in. Vitale, Marlington looking for their first win in almost a year. Miller trying to spoil the party, has it down the center. She has plenty of bodies near her as Marlington wins it back. Ursuline wanted a foul. They don't get it. To the near side it goes. Emma Hone, but there is a late sprinter for Ursuline joining the party, trying to create a challenge. It is Kish. Hone loses it. She looks for an appeal. She doesn't get it. Walter to the edge of the box. There is an injured Fighting Irish player on the ground. She attempts to get up. The whistle should blow, and we will have an injury stoppage with $1:12 left to go. Wow, what a chain of events. If you are just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon. In the second half, 2 goals scored. Jordan Miller, the opener, a worldie from well outside the box, and then Emma Hone getting a last-ditch touch, beating Cromartie to equalize it. It's 1-1. Both sides have sent the house on numerous occasions, but still, the honors remain even. We are back underway. The pivotal minute here. Tynell squares it. Jordan Miller, a goal here would do it. Miller down the center, a solo run. Jordan Miller cutting. She loses possession. Marlington, they will have their chance, and it is short-lived as it's won back by the Fighting Irish. But the ball will change possession a couple of times before it looks like settling in the center circle with Ursuline. Miller trying to go forward, and the whistle blows. She did go to ground. You hear the O's. I don't know. I thought they had ball first. That looked like a clear, clean tackle, and Ursuline has a big chance to win it with 30 seconds left to go, and you bet it's going to be Jordan Miller tasked with taking the set piece. If this goes in, you're going to have a lot of angry orange and black. Jordan Miller, the junior captain, all eyes on her. The clock running. It'll be the final shot of the game. Miller for the win, sending it forward. It bounces, it goes through, it's rolling, and Ursuline wins it! At the buzzer, it's Youngstown Ursuline taking home the win, 2-1! Miller sent it forward, and it looks like potentially Mahone tipping it in, and pandemonium ensues for the Fighting Irish. If the luck of the Irish wasn't on their side already, it is now. Do we have confirmation that it is officially in? The scoreboard reads 2-1, and the call is confirmed. You can see the scenes on the near side. Your final, Youngstown Ursuline 2, Marlington 1. What a finish. I think all of us were caught offside by that call. A lot of things to look at there. Marlington, they will go back to the drawing board with now an 0-11-2 record. Ursuline earning their 3rd win of the year and their first since August 31st. But what a chain of events at the end. A controversial free kick taken down to the buzzer as Jordan Miller is able to have it roll through the defensive line, potentially helped on by Mahone to seal the win. But either way, Jordan Miller is your SmeeSports player of the game. Ursuline very happy. They're celebrating, and they will take this one all the way back home to Youngstown on the bus to celebrate. But wow, what a chain of events. Before we go, if you own a small business and are looking to sponsor some broadcasts in the Greater Alliance area, contact me at one of those avenues on your screen, whether it be on Instagram, X, or preferably my email, which is nsme00@gmail.com. I'm looking to bring on sponsors for games, whether it be in this season, the winter season, or the spring season. Contact me there, and I would love to get a deal done as well. The next game live here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel is Sunday. We have another Sunday of baseball at the collegiate level with KSU Tuscarawas taking on Westmoreland County Community College. 12-2 first pitches at Conotton Valley High School. I'm looking forward to seeing Coach Cole and the guys perform once again. And as well, thank you to all the viewers of those games for the immense support that we had yesterday. If you to stay up to date on all the games I'm covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFest2024 on Twitter to stay up to date on anything related to Marlington. Follow them on social media. And finally, subscribe here to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when we go live. My goal is to get up to 250 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I believe we are around 100 subscribers away. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed for your support. But with that does it from Marlington. The luck of the Irish on Ursuline's side, taking home the victory 2-1 over Marlington. I've been Nathan Smee. Thank you for spending your Monday evening with us here in Alliance. Have a good night, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow on Channel 1022 Spectrum for Alliance versus Minerva Volleyball.